You know there is a peculiar and wonderful thing happening right now, not in the distant past, not in some imagined future, but here in the very act of you listening. Awareness is gazing upon itself, almost as if the universe has leaned in for a closer look through the window of your eyes. Most of us grow up thinking we are tiny observers tucked somewhere behind the forehead. Some small spark of identity lodged inside a skull, trying its best to make sense of a world that seems vast, strange, and definitely separate. Yet if you slow down a touch and pay attention to what is truly happening, the boundary begins to blur. The one who is looking and the thing being looked at start to feel like two sides of a single movement. Take a sound, for example, a bird call, or a distant hum from the street. The sound cannot exist without a listener, and the listener cannot exist without the sound. They rely on one another in the same way the front of a sheet of paper needs the back. You cannot peel them apart because they are aspects of one process. What we call reality works exactly like that. You are not peering at the universe from the outside. You are emerging with it, forming with it, responding with it, and dissolving back into it in every passing moment. This is the great insight hidden at the heart of spiritual traditions across the world. You are the universe looking at itself, not as a poetic phrase meant to make you feel spiritual, as a plain and straightforward recognition. Your mind, your senses, your thoughts, your feelings, your memories, your laughter, and even your confusion all arise from the very same cosmic process that spins galaxies and stirs the oceans. Consider how remarkable it is that the cosmos has taken on the shape of your particular life, your personality, your quirks, your preferences, your sense of humor. The universe has arranged itself into a configuration that experiences morning coffee, awkward conversations, quiet worries at night, old memories that tug at your heart, and small victories that make you smile. It is all one continuous process. There is no point where you end and the cosmos begins. The two flow into one another like currents in a single ocean. Yet in ordinary life, most people do not feel this way at all. Instead, they feel isolated, enclosed, cut off, trapped inside a private world of thoughts and responsibilities. They wake up in the morning and feel the weight of their identity pressing on them. They look at the world as something to conquer, manage, control, or survive. They imagine life as a series of battles, or a ladder to climb, or a puzzle to solve before time runs out. This sense of separateness is the root of our anxiety. The moment you believe you are an isolated observer, life becomes a constant struggle. You must succeed. You must defend. You must improve. You must justify your place. You must prove your worth to a world that seems to be judging you from every direction. But what if this sense of separation is simply a habit of thought? What if your feeling of being a little isolated creature is only a story you have repeated so often that it feels true? And what if that story can be questioned? Look at nature. A tree does not think of itself as separate from the soil. A wave does not imagine itself distinct from the sea. A flame does not fight the fire of which it is a part. Each one simply expresses what it already is. You grew from this universe in exactly the same way an apple grows from an apple tree. It would be strange for the apple to declare it had nothing to do with the tree. Yet this is precisely how many people think of themselves in relation to reality. They imagine they stand apart, when in truth they arise from the same deep source as everything else. Now here is a curious thought. Every experience you have ever had is the universe exploring itself from your point of view. Every sorrow is the cosmos learning the taste of sadness. Every joy is the cosmos discovering delight. Every question is the cosmos examining its own mystery. Every moment of wonder is the cosmos peeking at its own nature through the lens of your awareness. There is a kind of cosmic creativity at play, a playfulness. The universe hides within each one of us so that it can rediscover itself anew in a billion unique ways. We are each a different angle of perception, a different way the universe curls around to look back at its own infinite face. Imagine a great ocean sending up countless waves. Each wave rises with its own shape, some tall, some small, some calm, some wild. Each one feels distinct, yet every wave is made of the same water. None of them are separate from the ocean from which they rise. Now think of yourself as a wave in this living cosmic sea. Your thoughts, your personality, your entire life is a brief crest of form rising out of the deep. And eventually, as all waves do, you fall back, not as a tragedy, not as a disappearance, but as a return to what you have always been. The ocean does not lose itself when a wave settles. It simply returns to stillness. There is something profoundly calming about this perspective. Once you understand your identity as part of the whole, the frantic effort to defend and prove yourself begins to soften. You do not have to grip so tightly. You do not have to fight life at every turn. You can relax into the flow because the flow is not separate from you. Some people hear this and think it means they will lose their individuality. Not at all. Your individuality is not something to get rid of. It is something to understand. It is the way the universe chose to express itself in this particular moment. You are one of its creative experiments, a unique lens through which the entire cosmos becomes aware of itself. When you listen without resistance, you might feel something shift inside you, a lightness, a quiet openness, a sense that life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to participate in. You begin to notice the subtle play between your awareness and the world around you, the way a sunset colors not just the sky, but your inner sense of awe, the way music seems to vibrate both the air and your feelings, the way conversation is a dance between two expressions of the same underlying reality. The separation starts to look flimsy. The world becomes intimate. You begin to feel at home in the very fabric of existence, as if you have remembered something ancient, something you always knew before you learned how to worry. And this memory changes how you move through your day. Decisions become lighter. Moments become richer. You stop trying to control every detail and instead learn how to respond to life as it unfolds. You no longer feel the need to chase an identity because you begin to see that your identity is not fixed. It is a flowing expression of a deeper unity. You might wonder why this simple truth is so easily forgotten. It is forgotten because we are trained to believe we are separate. From childhood onward, we are taught to divide the world into the inner and the outer, the self and the other, the me and the not me. We learn to cling to opinions and labels. We become entranced by the image we have of ourselves. And like someone hypnotized, we mistake the reflection for the one who is seeing. But every now and then, something breaks through the trance. A moment of stillness, a crisis that shakes your identity, a sudden wave of beauty, a flash of insight. And in that opening, you sense a wholeness that feels more real than anything you were ever taught. When you taste this unity even for a moment, you begin to understand why sages throughout history smiled in quiet recognition. They saw the same truth you are beginning to feel. The truth that you are not an outsider in this universe. You are not a stranger wandering through an indifferent world. You are an expression of the very force that spins the galaxies. You are awareness playing with its own reflections. You are the universe looking at itself through the lens of your experience. There is a delight in this understanding, a kind of cosmic humor, as if the universe has been winking at you all along, inviting you to notice that the game of life is not about winning or losing. It is about waking up to what you already are. So let this moment be a gentle reminder. Sit with it for a breath or two. Feel the weight of your body. Listen to the sounds around you. Sense the awareness that is hearing these words. Recognize that this awareness is not something you are doing. It is something you are. And that awareness is not separate from the stars above you, the air around you, the people you love, or the memories that shaped you. It is the same awareness that looks out from every pair of eyes on this planet. The same awareness that hums through every heartbeat. The same awareness that glows in every sunrise. You are not the universe watching something happen. You are the universe having the experience. And for this brief and precious moment, it is having the experience as you. That is the wonder of being alive. That is the joy of being aware. That is the beauty of being you.